All of the rest of their hair right now is just going to be combed back and controlled. So Rachel can focus on creating the external perimeter through the front area, which is going to be one of the most important areas of this haircut, as it's going to be the focal point from the front area. Rachel's going to be working with natural fall, working with the wide teeth of the comb to control the cutting line, but work with absolute minimum to no tension at all. By starting in the center of the face, this will allow Rachel to determine the length and the shortest point of the shape that she's going to be creating. From there, she can then very easily start to slope down in towards the cheekbone area, down towards the ear, creating a diagonal line, cutting from the bottom to the top. So at all times, she's in complete control with the point cutting, really determining the longest length at the bottom of the panel. We can see how Rachel is over-directing the hair towards the middle of the face and cutting down the line. This will ensure that she retains the length towards the corner of the cutting line at the bottom to create that shorter to longer feel. Also, you'll notice that Rachel is cutting just slightly longer than the previous guide. So now her fingers are sitting on the guide, allowing the cutting line to be just over the top. This is done on purpose to create a slightly different length and overhang on the external line, which she can then soften through or even leave completely for a more creative and personal feel on the external shape. The way that we're going to be bringing the back zone into the front area and tying it together is by creating a diagonal section all the way from the top of the apex down to the bottom of the nape, diagonally backwards, just behind the ear. We can then comb everything forward and flat against the nape area, and then start to work our square cutting line through the base of the neck to create the bob shape. This is a great way to bring the length into the back area and make a connection, but also encourage the hair to sit flat and fall forward, as that's the way that Rachel wants to style this hairstyle, where everything is going to be worn forward and messy. From the side profile, we can see the rounded shape from the front in the center, coming down in towards the longest point around the ear area, and then connecting into that square shape in at the neck through the back area for a really cool personalized bob shape with different textures. Now the hair is damp and it has some mousse applied to the hair. Rachel's going to start wrap drying the hair with a brush and a hairdryer. Realistically, the result that she wants is something that is very smooth and very natural. So she's going to move the hair around with the brush and the hairdryer together, working on a medium speed and a medium heat, allowing her to get nice and close to the head and just wrap drying it around the head shape to create a nice, even finish. Rachel can now focus on the external line now the hair is dried. We have the internal layering done. We can purely focus on the personalization and sharpening up the perimeter through the back of the neck to create the strongest possible outline and shape through this zone. The best way to do this is by blow drying the hair nice and straight, maybe using some straightening irons, and then working complete natural fall on the base of the head and working with the points of the scissor to chip away at the perimeter of the haircut to create a really sharp, crispy cutting line. What's important is the angle that she's got the head at to create this soft external perimeter, working with the comb to control the hair, working on the surface of the skin, using the points of the scissor, in complete control of the hair and the shape that she's cutting at all times. A fantastic result on this haircut, where we have a much more squarer cutting line through the back on the perimeter of the bob and these short textured layers through the perimeter of the round shape at the front for a really personalized finish for this model. Thanks for watching, guys. We hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial and we'll see you soon.